What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We got to say a student expose, and we're going to start with 4 games that we have, and we'll start with the best one, 92% perfect opening and middle game. So we're going to see a stellar game here, it seems like. And let's start out. Our student is white, and he's playing this kind of closed version of the French, something like that. Uh, and interesting here Interesting here is a question which to capture with bishop or knight. He chose bishop in this case, but knight is the preferred option, and well, it kind of makes sense, right? After you take it with the knight, you probably win a pawn right after that as well. Uh, well, it's a little bit trickier than I was thinking, but the point is, at least in the simple variation, he would capture back here. You capture with check, so knight is a lot trickier. All right. Instead, we have this variation, and here too you do win this pawn, but it's the knight is a little bit offside, and you never know what can happen. But you manage to bring him back and develop the bishop and defend the knight at the same time. So all going really good here. All going really good here. And prophylactic move. I think this was not warranted, not necessary. It's a bit slow. Computer recommends knight here, but I would understand if someone is a bit hesitant to play. The point is, the tactic is you capture here and then the knight comes out attacking bishop and queen at the same time. So you capture back or you capture back with bishop. But anyhow, we have a solid setup. And he's going for solidity here, which is what I like. And also opening up the gates for a nice queen check, which I think the opponent doesn't defend in the appropriate manner. I think defending it with the knight is a much better option, as you will find out during the course of the game. So here we have a high skill move, knight back, attacking the queen, attacking the bishop, keeping this motif afloat, and introducing a new potential motif of the knight coming in there. So a lot going on here, and the opponent cracks. He plays a natural seeming move, queen back to defend the bishop, but it falls into the aforementioned knight motif, which exploits the spin and the opponent resigns. What he needed to do instead was to move his queen down here, offering a trade of queens. And of course, if he should capture, then the knight captures back and holds on to the bishop, so he would be able to come back. But anyway, that's game one, fluent game. Let's have a look at game two, 85%, and a pretty steady game all in all. So let's have a look at how this game unfolded. Steady opening. I like d4. d4 is a confident move here. d4 is a very confident move. A lot of players would be too shy to play that way because, you have to know what you're going to do if he captures. You have to be somehow you have to have the tactical mind to know how you will handle that. Okay, so if he captures, then what's white's best response? Well, it seems like it's just it could be c3. c3 offering yet another piece. And should he capture that, well, then all of a sudden the floodgates open for a tremendous bishop check, king capture, knight check. You can't capture back because of the queen. And when the king goes back here, the knight captures here. A very profound position. That's why I'm not really sure if you understood everything you were doing here with d4. But anyway, good move. Good move. And solid play. How's he going to handle this queen? I mean, this queen looks very menacing, but it is also violating the Nash equilibrium in a way. bg5 is not optimal, but it's a very complicated position. and the opponent misfires. It's a highly tactical position here. There could be numerous things that you have to do, and well, it's when it's too complicated, people miss out on opportunities. So it seems like the best move here is knight capture here. Opening up the queen to a trade. So you take back, you take here, and he takes back, and then you take back here. That's basically what the best line is at this point. But it's understandable that you can't see all of that in such a situation and play for the more measured game instead, where everyone knows what everyone is doing. Uh, so solid overall. But now comes again yet another opportunity potentially, and I don't know if this is probably not optimal. Optimal might have been bishop here. Wow, wow, that's basically sacrificing the bishop to win the queen. Very interesting move, taking away the escape square from the king, making the rook check that much more powerful. Highly impressive. But anyway, that doesn't happen, and we have opposite side castling. And now he plays the vaunted move, and it is the best move in this position, opening up the hidden attack on the queen and on the rook at the same time. Tremendous play. Winning the rook, and here I understand this move. I mean, it's going right for the jugular, so how can that be a mistake? But I get it. Knight here is also interesting. It offers queen, then you get a check, and you win the knight. I don't know, lots of stuff going on. But this is also a fine move, in my opinion. It just it's a one tempo too slow. Here, this is also not optimal, right? You have the position in your hand, and it's important to not play like a slip up move here. This is a safe move, but it's a move that has some risk because of these shenanigans, as we're going to find out. A better approach would have been queen up here, basically promoting the trade of queens. And should he capture there, then you capture back here. So that's the other way to handle this kind of position. So we have bishop capture, and that was not the optimal way, but it's totally human way. And now we have the chase, but he goes one check too many, and ends up needing to lose a tempo to not lose his queen. And white takes a stride in, but he's able to defend effectively and manage his king to full safety here, and playing very, very precise, safe chess, and totally just winning the game now. It's just a matter of time here, but yeah, finally, it all comes to a well. Yeah, good game there. Good game. I think we might have time for just one more game here, so let's have a look. Let's see. This was a 63% game, not the strongest one, but it's a short game. So let's have a quick look at this 26 move game. White is a student, and we have a hostile attack from black, and equally hostile response from white. So a lot going on here, but ultimately the queen and bishop are working well together. That's absolutely a fact. So I feel there is one too many loose pieces going on in white's position, even though that can be said about black's position as well. So it's very double-edged is the point, and this is a more balanced way to play it. You're just sort of maintaining the motifs. Makes sense, but it's not the best move, as you would see. Best move is to go for it. To be like, you want to play double-edged? All right, we could go double-edged. Uh, and as you can see, white does still find time to play this balancing move in there. It's just that he goes for the jugular as well. So you have to sometimes know when to play this way or that way, when to take a risk and when not to. Black ending up playing quite passively here, and white should definitely be playing d4. This is it's okay. D4 is clearly the way to go. You can see all the motifs are working out. You want to make that pawn break move. Always, whenever you have a chance to play a pawn break, and if you can play it successfully, then you almost always should, basically. That's the only way to win the game. You can't win the game by not unleashing hell against strong opponents, that is. Against weak opponents, they'll blunder a piece here and there and all of that. But against strong opponents, you have to uncork the pawn break in order to win the game. Now here we have a pawn break, and it's come at a good time. Good time. And this is good. This is good. Like rolling the pawns forward. I like that. And now we're going to see some amazing chess from what I remember watching here. We're going to see something phenomenal. Okay. Well, let's just see what happens. I don't remember, but this is a brilliant move. I mean, it looks rather straightforward. You capture back and you win the knight, so it totally makes sense. But the problem is, okay, you don't actually win the knight. You don't win the knight because the queen's got it. You missed it, the big drop here. You lost the queen, so now the opponent has a queen, and white's trying to win the game. And now in such a situation, what do? You can't just play like pussy. You got to go for it. And go for it he does, with the knight coming in there, threatening the nastiest of surprises. And there's just way too much pressure for black here. He's only 1100, not even, and he collapses with the wrong move, falling into the lovely knight mate. What a checkmate that is. Terrific. What he needed to do was to capture it with the rook instead. That would have given well, what would I have done actually? If he captured it with the rook. Well, yeah, then of course the knight check can be met with a rook capture, and the same situation doesn't apply. So that was that game. Terrific finish there. Let's go on to the last game. It's a 62% game with a horrible end game. So there might be some valuable lessons here in this 52 move game. So we'll have to go through it a bit quickly. Let's go through it a bit quickly. All steady stuff. Steady stuff. Nice. Nice move. Nice move. Nice follow up. A lot of stuff going on here. It's a very hot-headed position. Surprising that he didn't take the bishop there, right? Shouldn't he have just taken a bishop? Yeah, he should have. Bishop, then you capture and you get the other bishop. And then you capture back here, and then the knight has to move, and then you capture there. So it's pretty even. But I like this position, and I like how white is playing. He has good control of the elements of the game. As you can see, white is playing with a lot of control. But something will not be perfect in this game. What I like is, he's playing with the principles, taking the 7th rank, totally logical approach, developing pawn and pushing the rook back, taking on a new diagonal. This is masterful play, actually, for white. To a large degree, this is. Except for this move. This move is not warranted. I understand that you think this bishop is like his key defender, but it really isn't. Shouldn't you instead just take the pawn or something? I don't know. Computer recommends something like moving the rook back and then taking the pawn. Huh. Anyway, after the trade, now there's no longer this immediate checkmate threat on the cards. Instead, we go back to more principled approaches of handling the rook endgame. And here, what I didn't like in the play is that you didn't take your chance to win those pawns when you could win them. You could win those pawns, but you're playing a little bit too patiently. And I like that you didn't fall for the knight fork, obviously. That's also good. But Peter is getting back in. And here, once again, just going a bit too defensive. Too defensive. You gotta start taking shit. Okay, he comes in with a check. So what? So what? No big deal, bro. So, eh, but now something has unleashed here, which I don't even see what it is. What he needed to do here to take advantage of that was knight here, which I don't fully understand. I don't fully understand it because why couldn't you capture back? Is it rook check and mate? Oh my goodness. If you come here, then it's rook check mate. If you come here, then it's rook check mate. Damn. That's a stunner. You can't expect anyone to see that. All right. So now we have this situation, and here you have to really understand both players don't see the motif. The motif at play is that the king is in a mating net. Okay, you see the rook comes back here, check, and it's mate. It's mate because the pawn has all of the bases covered, the knight has this covered, rook has everything covered. So this is a mating net. It's very tricky position. And here white captures a pawn and it's a huge blunder. But black is not seeing what he can do. He's not seeing it. So neither side are seeing what they have. Classic amateur game, right? Classic amateur game, and that's why the eval bar is going up and down until finally White delivers his own mating net checkmate. So a real clash of mating nets there. Anyway, that's all we have for today. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed. Cheers.